So when kitting out your smart home with your new devices, it's easy to overlook Wi-Fi as being something that is just bulbs and plugs. There's so many different products that are available on the marketplace nowadays, and this video I'm going to go through some of those and show you what you can do with them. So let's take a look. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. So yes, in this video I'm going to go through some Wi-Fi based smart devices. Big thanks to Meros for sending these out to me to have a play around with. You know, I'm sure as many of you who follow the channel and the content that I do, you know, my primary network is Zigbee. I do have some Wi-Fi devices. I have a few more now, thanks to Meros. You know, they've sent me out a bunch of devices. They're all kind of like sensor-based ones. So, you know, I've got a door sensor. Probably not going to use it for a bog standard door, I would say. A little bit on that in a minute. They've sent me a water leak sensor, they've sent me a smoke alarm, and they have sent me a temperature sensor, which I've not really seen one like this before. So yeah, why Wi-Fi devices? Well, I guess you know, for most people who are getting into smart homes, kind of like tinkering around with it, probably the easiest route of entry, I would say. You know, you've generally got either your own router that you've gone and bought, or you've got one that's been provided by your internet provider, and you can just hook these devices up to that and away you go. You know, there's no you know, getting something like Zigbee and a dongle and all that kind of stuff to get going with it. So having something that's more than just a smart bulb or you know, a smart plug, you know, whatever, you know, and kind of like expanding beyond those devices enables you to start, you know, doing a little bit more with your smart home, and kind of like, you know, linking these things together. Now, all of these devices I have integrated into Home Assistant. I've actually been playing with these for probably a couple of months now, so I must apologise to Meros for taking so long to actually do this video. You know, I've been really quite impressed with them. You know, the kind of like one of the things that you kind of think of with Wi-Fi based devices is the battery level and how frequently it kind of goes through batteries. Well, you know, I'll show you some of that on you know, the battery levels in Home Assistant. It really isn't something I've noticed with these devices, so yeah, we'll look at that a little bit later on. So first up, I'm going to take a look at the door sensor. Now obviously, you know, it's a door or window sensor. You could use it for either of those, but you know, if you let your imagination run a little bit more with these kinds of things, there's plenty more things that you can do. There's plenty more kind of, you know, doors or window type things that you've got in your house. You know, if you've got a loft hatch, you know, you could put one on there, but I've got one attached to my freezer door. Now this is just an example. My freezer actually has a door open detector on it, and it'll sound a rather annoying beep, you know, if that's left open. But what I've done here, as you see in this automation in Home Assistant, I've got it set up so that if I've left the freezer door open for, I've set it as 2 minutes. You could obviously do whatever you wanted, but if I've set it for 2 minutes, then it is going to turn on the LED strips in the kitchen, and they're going to turn on blue to indicate to anyone in the house that the freezer door is left open. If I'm upstairs in this room, then those lights at the back there are going to come on a different blue. So, you know, I'll know that somebody else has gone and left the freezer door open. And obviously when the freezer door is closed, those LEDs go off. As simple as that. So that's just one way you could use one of these sensors. They are nice and small, and you know, they don't look horrific as well. So you know, if you were using them for this kind of thing, you know, I don't think you're going to notice it when it's in place. So next up is the smoke detector. Now, I see on a regular basis people asking about smart smoke detectors. It seems to be one of those things which either people, want them or they don't want them. Doesn't seem to be a huge amount on the market. Doesn't seem to be any from a reputable brand, I would say. And that's these kind of things are what put people off, but there does seem to be an interest in smart smoke detectors. Now in my house the smoke detectors are hardwired, so if I'm out and about and there's smoke detected, well, great, in the house, because if there's nobody in the house, then those alarms going off, nobody's really going to hear those. So there's kind of one of the benefits of a smart smoke detector, I guess, from that point of view, is I'm going to get the notification on my phone, even just from the Meros app. However, because these all play nicely in Home Assistant, I'm not going to stop there with that. I've got a nice little automation set up here, which, if you're in the house and it detects smoke, you're going to know about this. So basically the automation, quite a lengthy automation. I'm sure there's probably other ways you could do this, but it is all the Echo devices, and you could probably do this with other smart speakers as well. There are other integrations obviously for Home Assistant, but basically it turns up the volume on all my Echo devices around the house. It announces that smoke has been detected in the kitchen, which is where I've got this set. It turns all the LED strips that I've got in the house to red, turns them all on, and it blasts out a siren as well. So I've just got this on a repeat to do it twice, but obviously you could do this to keep on repeating until the smoke has stopped effectively. I could send a notification to my mobile phone or all of the mobile phones, within, kind of like what is enabled within Home Assistant. So really, really nice from that point of view. So in terms of a smoke detector, this just looks like a normal smoke detector, one of those kind of like 15 quid ones you get from big DIY stores in the UK. It takes a couple of batteries. The big difference is obviously it is smart, and it's going to send you those notifications. So no hard wiring in or anything like that. Obviously, if you guys have got opinions on this, let me know down below in the comments. It is one of those subjects I've found which people tend to, as I say, yes or no on smart smoke detectors. So, but let's just see that in action.
Smoke detected in kitchen.
So the next one that I've got is the smart temperature sensor. Now, there's a ton of these types of devices on the market. I've got some from other brands that I use in rooms as well. I think one of the really nice things about this one, and when I got it, I actually thought that it was a display on it. Well, it's not a display, it's actually a solar panel. So so it is battery powered, but obviously it's got the ability to kind of like charge itself from that point of view. So again, there's plenty of things you could do with this. I think this is a really nice device. It's relatively smart looking, excuse the pun. You probably want to put this somewhere where it's got at least a level of light, so that you're not having to kind of like crack it open and change that battery. Not the easiest job in the world, I would say, but it is doable. So I've got this set up to go and pull down to 50% the SmartWing shade that I've got, which is a Zigbee based shade. Obviously just doing this all in Home Assistant. And actually in Home Assistant, this is pretty straightforward. All I'm doing is just looking for the temperature to rise to a certain value. You know, you could use you know, other things on this. You could use this you know, integration for kind of like sun position and stuff like that. You know, to see whether it's actually you know, at the highest point where maybe you've got sun coming into the property, and that's where you know, things are getting a bit warmer. Lots of different ways you could use this. Obviously it's got humidity on it as well as the temperature. So yeah, a really nice little temperature sensor from Meros, and as I say, certainly unique by having that you know, self-charge as well. Now the last item I think is certainly interesting. Having had a recent water leak in the bathroom, this is something that is obviously of interest to me. So it's a bit of an odd one, this one. You know, I have water leak detectors from other brands, which are a lot smaller. So I would say this one probably is best suited for going underneath a sink, you know, maybe in your kitchen or something like that, going underneath your bath, you know, that type of thing, or anywhere where basically, you know, you can get this in, you know, because it is a good few centimeters in height. Very unique design. Never seen anything like it for a water leak sensor, but it does work really well. So I'm not going to attempt to flood my house to test this, but what I will do is I'm going to put this into a container and then have water go into that container, and you will see you know, very quickly it will not only sound an alarm on the device itself, you know, I will get a notification in the app, but obviously, you know, because I've got a whole bunch of automation set up in Home Assistant for all the other ones that I've gone through today, I've got an automation for this as well.
Water leak detected in kitchen. Water leak detected in kitchen.
So in terms of an automation, very similar to the smoke alarm one. You know, flood can be as damaging as fire in a lot of ways in a property. So you know, you want to kind of know about this fairly quickly. I don't have a smart shut-off valve for my water yet. So if I did have that, then obviously I could have this then turn off that water valve. I could probably have the automation being a little bit less excitable, I suppose, is one way of putting it. But yeah, you know, again, you know, your notifications, you can flying them out everywhere. You know, there's so much you can do with this kind of stuff when you actually have them integrated with Home Assistant. So in terms of battery life, well, I've got some charts on the screen here. This is data pulled from Home Assistant over the last kind of like couple of months that I've been using them. As you can see, you know, battery life's pretty impressive, to be honest with you. If you'd like to get hold of any of these devices that you've seen in the video, there are links down below in the description. There's also a discount code that Meros have given me as well for you guys to be able to use. Just knocks a little bit off the price there. But you know, I'd love to know your thoughts on you know, anything that's been shown in the video today. If you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It really does help with the engagement on the channel. But as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.